Hey everyone, welcome back to Afterthought FM. Today I watched The Predator from 2018. Spoilers ahead, I know. Someday I'll be able to shut up about all that. You'll know already. This movie, though, is a bit of a tonal pivot. It's fascinating because it feels like 5 different movies fighting each other for the spotlight. But I was going to say it doesn't feel like a Predator movie, but it kind of still does. It still has, it has the Predators and they're pitted against each other. So, we get to see more clan rivalry or faction rivalry. There's the government man sent from the government, the conspiracy and all that. In this one, though, there is also family drama, like human family drama. And there's some comedy. It's a bit of an action comedy. And sometimes it's all in the same scene. So, I don't know, just follow along. So the opening kind of changes a lot. The movie, this movie opens with the 2 ships fighting. One is chasing the other. There's a big ship chasing a smaller ship. That is immediately different from the previous movies. We're no longer asking what a predator is, which is great. We're just asking why are they fighting each other, which is more interesting. And in all honesty, we've seen enough Predator movies. We know what the deal is, but we don't know why they're fighting each other in this one, at least. So anyway, the smaller predators fleeing, the larger predators hunting it. So this also kind of leads into a quick pivot to a more modern protagonist. He witnesses the crash because the smaller ship crashed in the jungle, because every Predator movie has to take place in the jungle or the forest. Okay, there's got to be lots of trees. So he witnesses the crash. He encounters the fugitive Predator. He collects evidence. And then he mails that evidence to his house. No, hang on. In his defense, he mailed it to a P.O. box. But he didn't pay the P.O. box, so it goes to his house. It's just, I know. He's competent. He's observant. And I got handed to him. He understands when he's being manipulated because, the government picks him up and they put him in a room and they're trying to railroad him to insanity. They're trying to do the whole, nobody's ever going to believe you. You're insane, and put him kind of, they want to lobotomize him, But why would you mail? You mailed it to your kid, basically? Okay. So the Predator tech is now meeting Suburbia. The kid opens the alien package, and he's a curious little guy. He activates the alien tech. He's wearing it, trick-or-treating. And then it goes off, and it destroys a whole house in a neighborhood. I almost glossed over the fact that on its way to killing the house, the missile that came out of the helmet killed a guy. Went through a guy and into the house. Big explosion, Michael Bay. So this is kind of obviously, right off the bat, very, very different from any other Predator story that we've seen. Most of them focus on soldiers, cops, hunters, mercenaries. This one is parents and kids, and the kids getting bullied, and there's family dynamics. And it's not that there's not soldiers, there are. It's just that they're PTSD-ridden veterans. There's no macho man in this one. Everyone's just traumatized deeply. So, okay, now, anyway, backing up a little bit. Speaking of the kid, and speaking of the PTSD, the veterans, there's the kid. The movie wants him to be intelligent and capable and important, and I love that. And it's the same for one of the veterans that has Tourette's. Although the Tourette's guy does seem to be the butt of every joke. So these 2 things I do want to point out really quickly. I don't know if I'm the most qualified person to talk about this, but it rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know if maybe it was the most respectful portrayal of autism and of Tourette's. Again, I don't think I'm the most qualified. I've never experienced these things firsthand, in my own life. You know what I mean? But it was weird. I don't know. I might do a little bit of a dive into that later on, but this is just sort of one of those things that I was watching this movie and I was like, oh, this was kind of a might be a hard sell, and I can understand if that's the reason some of the fans didn't really like this one. But I thought there's a lot of other reasons to not really like this one, so keep up. Keep up. I think it's well intentioned. I get it. I just don't think every choice lands. So, okay, moving right along. Government man sent from the government, just as he was in every other Predator movie, except for the last one I watched, Predators. They were just literally yoinked up to a planet. But the rest of them always had some sort of secret facility, program, agenda. That whole thing, we can control this and we can study this, and they have obviously no idea what they're doing. In this one, though, an observation that I kind of actually loved is they bring a scientist in, and this woman immediately, one of the first things she says is like, they're not, why are we calling them predators? They're more like sports hunters or trophy hunters. And I was like, oh my God, thank you. And I think it's said even later on by another guy. And I was like, okay, yeah. And it fits everything we've seen. They don't hunt because they need food. You know what I mean? They hunt because they like it. They just value the hunt itself. Okay, the fugitive predator, even though he's a big kind of a scary guy, it still is, the movie itself is still loyal to the lore, where the scientist ends up unarmed and actually naked for a moment, because there's like, in order to get out of the facility, she's got to be decontaminated. It's the whole thing. And it leaves her alone. It recognizes that she is irrelevant. She's unarmed. She is not a threat. Just walks away. It reinforces that these are not random killers. They have rules, and I really like that. Okay, circling back, because this movie, you're just going to have to pivot with me, because I'm pivoting as this movie pivots. We're circling back to the traumatized veterans who are definitely not macho. They're carrying damage, they're carrying history, there's a lot of jokes, but they're all trying to take care of each other. There's like trauma instead of toughness. And I kind of like that. Whereas like Dutch's team was very macho. Harrigan's team or world was very like aggressive city cop. Royce's group was, killers and predators in space on a totally different planet. This group is wounded people just trying to figure out what the hell they got kind of like roped into, right? It's like a found family thing. And they grow on you. And even though they're weird, the movie gradually lets you learn where they served, what happened to them, what they struggle with. And by the final act, they're like a little dysfunctional family, and it's cute. Now, okay, pivot with me one more time. Well, actually, this is not the last time. Don't listen to that. Pivot with me again. Predator dogs are a thing now. Like they look like predators, but like on all fours. They're like short, stumpy legs, and they got the dreads. And they're like using hunting dogs now. And this is the first time we've seen this. I know I mentioned something about like a spiky type of thing in the last one. These ones look real different. I don't know if it's supposed to be like an evolution on that in this movie, or if this is just something new they just like threw in there. I'm not mad, because like we use hunting dogs. It makes sense the predators would have something like that. I get it. But like it was weird. And then one of them gets shot in the head. Basically one of our guys like lobotomizes the dog, and it becomes like a little golden retriever, and it follows the scientist around. It's weird. It's real weird. Every found family needs an alien dog, at least one. Something else I want to make note of is that the predator had a language in this one. Like it was kind of jumbled and it wasn't really defined. But you could tell it was speaking an alien language a couple of times here and there. So the predators are speaking. And so every time somebody gets upset at the latest Predator movie, which was Badlands, that like, oh, why would they speak? Why would they have a language? They have been speaking. They have just take a seat. Just go with the flow. They've been speaking. Everything's going to be fine. Everything's great. We needed some way for them to communicate in the Badlands. It's from their perspectives. Okay, we're going to get to that movie. I'm getting ahead of myself. But anyway, they spoke. This franchise has been heading here for decades. It started with mimicry, and then there was some other kind of type of communication. There's a culture. There are factions. Like, language is well, should have been part of it for a long time, but it's like the next logical step, I should say. So, pivot again. This movie throws a big lore swing at us in the form of genetic upgrades. It says that predators are improving themselves genetically. They collect useful traits from other species. And I think that this is probably one of the more divisive ideas in this movie. Previous films just portrayed them as like a cultural and technological advancement situation, like adapt to the prey or whatever they need to hunt. This one is a biological enhancement, and I don't think, unless it's in the comic books, I don't think we've ever seen that before, and it might be in the comic books again. This channel is not for me to dive into like long form content. This is just me to analyze movies and yap about my opinions. Okay, the predator, the larger predator finally catches the fugitive predator. The audience goes, what? Because, like, the fugitive predator is the one with all the answers, right? And then he just, like, rips that guy's spine out. And you're like, okay, so we don't know. So no answers then? Is that what we're doing? Okay. Great, good talk. And this happens after the movie spends so much time building mystery around him. It just felt frustrating to me. I was like, okay, I'm going to sit tight. We don't have to have all the answers right now, I guess. But it did feel a little cheap. And then the franchise drags us back into the woods after we went through the suburbs and the government and the spaceships and and there was a stolen helicopter. Our little ragtag group of veterans stole a helicopter. I was so proud. So after all that, now we're back in the woods. And there's another confrontation, and it's like, it just feels inevitable. It's a little predictable. Every Predator movie, it's just Hunter versus Hunter by the end of every fucking Predator movie. The crew falls. Here's that is the cost. The crew, after all the emotional investment into the veterans, they all die one by one. And they're sad. Some of them are really sad. Because by the time we get here to this point, they're no longer just like side characters. They're like they're our guys. They're our little buddies. And watching them get picked off one by one was like, oh, all right, fine. And then there's like a little sincere moment where Quinn honors them with his kid, and it's like sends them off. Does a little burial with all their little trinkets. And for a movie this chaotic, it did feel genuine. It was very cute. Okay, here is the last pivot. I promise. I actually promise. So the reason the fugitive predator was a fugitive is because he stole something. And the movie doesn't really explicitly explain this, but just hang on. There's a predator Iron Man suit, Predator power armor, whichever franchise you prefer. It's a weird choice. It's a weird choice for this. It just goes, here's a superhero suit. And why did he steal it? Like, I guess the logical explanation would be that maybe the predators were gonna, fuck up humanity a little bit. And the fugitive was like, no, that's not honorable. We gotta, we have to honor the hunt. We can't just like demolish them. That's not how we do things. So I'm going to give them this fucking weird ass Predator Iron Man suit, and this is how we're going to do it. And maybe that's but it's weird. It's just such a departure from what Predator is, I think, or at least what the movies are. This movie's a mess. It's an entertaining mess. It's funny. There's a bus crew. There's found family dynamics. There's the scientist's interpretation of what predators are, which is hilarious. At some point earlier in the film, she's like, "You want to know if somebody fucked an alien?" And everyone was like, "Yeah," and it's great. Like, I kind of love that. But I just have mixed feelings about a few things, like the autism and the Tourette's portrayal. The genetic engineering thing was weird, and then the predator killer suit is weird. It just was a movie with too many ideas, and they crammed them all in, and they wrapped it all up neat in a little bow, a little baffling little bow. I was never bored. I will hand it that. I was never bored. But let me know what you guys think. It was fun. But I would love to hear your thoughts, and I will see you in the next episode.